Hey, 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 friends. Hey, friends. Welcome in, come in. Do you have tea? Do you have coffee? Are you maybe driving? Are you riding somewhere? I hope you're doing well on this beautiful Monday. To be honest with y'all, I really was just gonna chill, but I was in I was doing my own personal work and just kind of listening to some messages, journaling. You know how we do, doing the work. And I just could not stop thinking about the fact that that we're gonna have Saturn squaring, y'all. Why am I? The second Jupiter Saturn square has just been heavily on my mind because it's gonna happen tomorrow. If you refer to that as Christmas Eve, if you don't, you totally don't have to. I get that. Um, it's happening in this pocket, you could also say, of the winter solstice. And that's a time period that we really observe for a couple of days. But honestly, I feel like if you would maybe call it the quietude, right? The quietude of this week, so to speak. Excuse me, I was just like, oh my gosh. Where are we at? Okay, I've got the chart. Here's Jupiter, which we see is in Gemini. Here is Saturn, which we see is in Pisces. And this is what we're looking at. And you guys already know, it's part of a trine as well. Hold on, because I can zoom in a little bit better when I have... Yes, I'm still feeling the setup, you guys. Okay, we're just going to vibe with it. We're going to roll with it. I do actually like to just do straight out card reads and... stuff like that. I really like to be at my altar space. Maybe my altar space is tired. I don't know. I just heard that. My ancestors and my goddess and beautiful angel and spirit guide archetypes. Y'all know Bridget's statue always hold it down at the altar space. Now I'm thinking, like, what is my gang out there? What y'all connect with? I definitely deeply resonate with Egyptian pantheon, I guess I would say. But for me, oftentimes it is a lot more like Hathor, Iset, Nuit. We can make a whole list. What else? Bridget has been my matron goddess just from this my life's incarnation right now. Like in this incarnation, if I go back in my ancestral lineage, it's very like Gaelic and Celtic. So I've honored Bridget for a long, long time, all the way back. Child, I was just a baby, just a little baby witch, baby spiritual learner. And it reminds me that I guess we're going to story tell. That's what we do in solstice wintering. And if you choose to say Christmassy, I really don't y'all. I don't be offended by no terms. You know what? Wish me a merry anything. And I will say, thank you so much. What do you observe? Well, I hope that you are merry and happy and whatever it is that's helping you achieve your highest and best good. You know what I'm saying? I will not fight you over no word Christmas. Because honestly, we can probably look at the etymology of the word and we can learn together and I could teach you about your tree and everything. But you know what? It's merry, happy. Let's be full of gratitude and warmth and carry the light. You know what I'm saying? It's not, let's argue over a word. Child, don't nobody got time. Don't nobody got time for that. Okay, but that was just funny. I kind of felt my ancestors and guides kind of be like, ooh. Woosah, we're tired. Okay, I'm hearing we have a lot to build in the coming years. Like we need some rest. And it's been a restful day. I do have some one-on-one work, but we're kind of chilling, honestly, for a few days. Maybe the week. I don't know. I'm like, ooh, maybe we'll chill out for a week. I don't know. I do have an event this weekend, but I don't know. We might see. But yes, we would be, as they say, remiss not to at least sit down and chit chat and, put it on the radar of your awareness And you know how I feel about, we do talk about Venus, and I feel like the cycles of Venus that work in sets of 8, which we break down to sets of 4, because the leap years cut up those sets of 8. I know, let me put you on. Listen, so I'm trying to tell you, if you get reflective of your life in 8-year cycles, you can be like, what? And then when you understand that Pluto, listen, let's stay focused. Venus is closest to Earth, right? And just the whole, divine, the flower of life and the pentagrams and all these things. Yes. So listen, I got another nugget for you. And I know we've hit on this here and there, but, child, I can't remember. I know we did. I know that this has come through in a collective as we're channeling and sharing and learning and, working together, walking together. But let me take you on back. Because you already know in astrology, we get real hype over here. And it's been just one of those sets of clusters of, I would say, 4 years. But again, Spirit says, you ain't seen nothing yet. Right? Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Because next year, Neptune, who only shifts every 165 years, will make a big change. And then soon to follow, I can't remember the exact date, but Saturn will also complete like multiple decades of his orbit and start a whole new orbit when he shifts into Aries. So ciao, when I tell you. But in astrology, we really do love to say, this has not happened in X amount of years, right? We love to say it. Hold on, the Spirit is telling me to smudge. It is Monday, so over here, I have some rosemary. She falling apart, but that don't make no matter. Still burning down, working down my Saturn with my other glyphs and my other... what am I working with on here? Somebody said... I'm working with some Mars and Leo energy. It has to do with my own natal chart and how I really would like to channel impactful things through this transit. And I have some runes and I have some energy that related to when I started this candle, the new moon and Sag and stuff like that. So get into it. Get you some rosemary. I like to smudge with rosemary in this season of the year a lot. It kind of honors with remembrance while also cleansing and clearing at the same time. And to be honest, I really do. I have a white sage bundle. I do have my own garden sage. Like I literally grow and I'll use in blends and stuff. But I really, really try to make super good. I'm trying to tell you, I think I've had this sage bundle that is wrapped with mugwort and something else. I've literally had it for probably 4 years. And it's a big chunky one. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how people burn through those things because I sparingly and selectively use it. But I mean, I use it. I've had it for years. But listen, yes, you guys, I hope you are doing well. And I hope you are making use of really slowing down this week. And I'm not saying like we don't have to be writing pages and pages and pages. I mean, in our journals, if you're writing in your journal every day, I think that's great. But I'm saying when we're encouraging each other to be in a reflective state of mind, it's just being open to, your spirit team, your higher self, your guides, just the universe in general, being reflective, being open. Allowing your mind to slow down, and I'm really feeling Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. As we are going through these mental reprogrammings, these downloads, these transmutative frequencies and energetics, because these seeds were planted throughout the year when the light was stronger, especially at the total solar eclipse, which again was a huge marker point this year. We have to integrate these things, right? So, listen. So if you take your clock on back to ending of December, I think it was actually on the solstice, was it not, in 2020? This was really when I was dipping my toes in and like taking my first like super, super beginner courses. So little did I know what 2021 was, y'all. It was a big dark night of the soul type of year for me, to be honest. And it led to amazing blessings. It's 333 on the clock as we're doing this. I'm trying to tell you, I said it in the other video, shout out. I would love to hear below if you're having like crazy number synchronicity. For me, even yesterday, the last couple of days, it's just been like bananas. 1212, 1010, waking up, 555, 333, 111. And I'm like, whoa. But for me and my higher self and my spirit team and like me with me and my higher frequential selves, I understand what different confirmations mean with me and as far as angels and spirit guides and everything. So I would be curious to know if you're resonating with that energy right now. But yes, we're going to take it back. It was on December 21st. I think it was the solstice, the great conjunction. Everyone was talking about it. It was huge. I drove out. I can't remember. We were driving out somewhere to try to be like out in the dark, a dark place and watch the sky. It was to absorb the energy and excuse me. But, I want to say that the rarity of this type of alignment, I think a great conjunction, and we're not going to go down the list of like what it takes to be considered a great conjunction, but it only happens like every 20 years. But there was something about, I want to say how freaking close they were. We had not seen that for like 400 years. So that great conjunction was huge. And that was, yeah. It was the... Sorry, I was looking at it. It has to do with the degree points, which qualifies it as a great conjunction, which again, that's only every 20 years. But what made this one very, very, very unique is literally how ridiculously close that was. So this is kind of, it's a 20-year cycle, which then makes me consider, and then, you know, we're hitting another activation spot in this whole dance, this whole 20-year cycle between Saturn and Jupiter, because there was a 0 degree of Aquarius involved around that time of December 2020. And now, of course, yes, you have to consider, whoa, Pluto and Aquarius, and then just other elements going on. I feel like, for very specific, I would say set of maybe like millennials, even elder millennials, because to be honest with you, you got to have at least X amount of life experience to be able to reflect back and be like, whoa, what was I doing 20 years ago? There's this very interesting, and it's so hard to unpack this all, but it's like a timeline loop folding back onto itself, but at a higher vibrational frequency. Like circling back around to get a bunch of stuff. And it's almost like, hear me out. This is how Spirit is showing it to me now. It's like in a game when you are on a path, but you have to very Zelda style, like take some side quests. And it's not that the destiny point maybe of the game changes, but when you come back after your quote-unquote side... yeah, I know. Me and you both, child, you said 20 years of side quest, though. But I mean, hey, Saturn is the specializer in, if we gonna build it, we gonna build it right. And listen, you need to be at X point by the end of 2024. And when we sat and we had talked about this with you and your soul tribe and your ancestors and shit in the Akashics, we understood, okay, listen, here's the map. I'm hearing backpack. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Okay. Nostalgia triggered, right? So our side, we're getting to a place in this energy as we go into this Capricorn season where we have a lot of karmic cyclical endings. You can trace back, where was I in December, winter solstice of 2020? Where was I 20 years from now? I'm sorry. Whoa, maybe that's a shout out from your future self. Shoo, y'all, I plan to live a long, long time. Let's not shuffle yet, because my beautiful Metamuse Tarot that was one of my gifts to myself. She gets real excited like I do to share the messages. it's really fascinating to consider it, and that's for your own like your own self-reflective work, your own journal fodder and things like this. It's very fascinating too, just do the reflective work of where was I at? Like 20 years ago. It's wild to think, child, if you want to talk about somebody stopped me dead in the face and was like, hey, I think it's super cute. Like, love the plans you have. Love that for you. But we're not going to be doing any of that. Yeah, so see the way that your soul contracts are set up, you know what I'm saying? And then we went on this journey, and not for nothing, imagine as well as this same type of 20-year wrap up is taking us into I want to say we have next year, more or less. Child, I need to know now because I keep saying this and it keeps coming through. And I need to know what our frame of reference, Saturn in Pisces, because I can't remember how long. And I'm not talking about retrogrades. Okay, the transit in 2025. Let's see. How long is what I'm saying, y'all, because I need to know. Okay, a better way to say this, you guys, wouldn't it be? When does Saturn leave Pisces? Hold on. In 2025, because I'm not talking about it yet. Okay, see, this is what I was thinking. So basically, Saturn will go back, and because we're having some retrograde territory right now. But anyway, we will still be working with Saturn and Pisces energy throughout 2025. And then I want to say it will be 2026. Yeah, it won't really officially be like bum 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 bum. You know, what the fuck kind of song was that? I don't even know. Until like February. Yeah. So yeah. So the remainder of 2025. But I'm saying it's another like preparatory type thing, is it not? You know what I mean? And when you consider that, just the magnitude of the level of karmic wrap-ups. And I need you to understand, when people keep saying karmic this, karmic that, you know, you can say evolutionary cycles. You can say, wow, we are not playing no more. On the grand stage of the Earth School, you guys who incarnated at this certain specific time and on these timelines and this incarnations, you know, you guys are going to be graduating en masse. And then it's a tiered thing. When we are graduating, it's like we pull other people up like behind us. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. And then also what you take into account of as well is, where is the South Node at? Because that's going to point me to where it feels like I'm wrapping up a lot of shit. And that takes me back to the other day when I was saying, yes, we keep hearing so much channelings about relationships because we have a South Node in Libra. And that's all about, if you feel like you are with your, we'll say, divine counterpart, if you resonate with that, if you are in the soul contract you're supposed to be in, whether you call that twin flame, soulmates, I mean, whatever you resonate with is fine. Or if you are getting relationships out of your life, that's very South Node in Libra. But it could also be you are ultimately, and I always like to take it back to this anyway, because if we always take it back inward, the outward will balance and harmonize itself, and we will magnetize and manifest the proper things based on our frequency. So ultimately, South Node in Libra will be What are your relationship patterns? How is your codependency? How do you give up parts of yourself, to like please, heal, quote unquote, save, all these type of relationship dynamics that are toxic that we have to heal. That way we vibrate into each other's lives in a healthy way and not like a trauma bonded way. All these things are being addressed in South Node Libra. And then I want to think, I think it's like February at some point next year, our nodes will shift and change, right? And with the South Node in Libra, that means North Node's in Aries. But anyway, the only reason I brought that up is I feel like people you hear in the collective, they're like, why do we keep hearing about these karmic relations? Because we cannot work, Spirit is saying it like this, we can't work the grid properly. Saturn wants us to build something sustainable. So Saturn and Pisces is doing like major wash this shit the fuck out work. Because Pisces is a lot about endings and being in between timelines, etc., etc. We could go into that more. But we will be feeling, you could maybe call it a conversation, between Saturn and Jupiter. Because of course Jupiter is kind of like the mothering, rulership of being optimistic and of course I want you to expand and man, like, look at what you've done with all of your experiences. I want to bless you. But Saturn is going to say, yeah, but is any of that sustainable? Okay. It's almost looking at giving a child or giving one of your ancestors, let us say, giving an investment and, an inheritance to invest and then saying, but what did you do with it? Or again, if we go on that, like Spirit was literally showing me like Zelda and side quests and stuff. If we back it up 20 years, you know what I mean? And we say, wow, where did I go off on all the side quests? And what have we learned? Saturn will, because Saturn's always going to be the divine masculine, the rulership, the holder of the gateways and the keys, so to speak, will say, I wasn't trying to be hard on you. I was trying to prepare you for life because I want you to be able to be inheriting something and then making it sustainable because everything is not about you. We impact the entire collective with what we do with our inheritance. I hear it like this, as if Saturn, Big Papa, Big Daddy Saturn is talking to us. We are still coming off of Sagittarius season, which has kind of taught us about, what do you look at? What's your truth? How does your perspective flow into that? Hold on, I'm seeing. Oh, duh. I was like, why am I? I feel like I had, but I don't know what I did with my notes. That's not the point. Okay, sorry guys, I was just looking at something. We do have Mercury involved, which I think is kind of interesting energetically. It's very interesting to have Mercury in Sag and then to have Jupiter in Gemini. It's almost like, I don't know, how do we say with this Saturn opposing Jupiter, and then the square, that will occur. I don't want to say it's foggy, but it's almost like adjusting the way Mercury, right? Adjusting the way that you see things through the lens. Spirit is saying your lens is your truth, your perspective, your higher wisdom, your higher knowledge. We're learning how to kind of like challenge ourselves. Okay, yes, I can build things. Yes, they can bear fruit. But is this for the highest and best good? And Saturn will continue to say to us, as well as this energy of Saturn and Jupiter squaring, because it's going to reverberate out as we continue through Capricorn season. It will say, this is the age of Aquarius. Pluto is in Aquarius officially. No time to really fuck around. Okay, you got to be authentic. Why? Like literally, why are you here if you're not honoring your authentic way of being, If your beliefs are not dictating what you walk in alignment with, how you manifest things, what is the point? It's just going to be mass. What Pluto and Aquarius is just going to keep coming and shooting shit down, exposing shit. Hey, adjust your frame of reference. Hey, adjust your perspective. But if you know what I mean? If you are rooted and grounded and you are doing the work and have done the work, do you know what I mean? And if we can kind of stay open, it's like we can still be solid. We can still be rooted and grounded. I just think it's kind of weird. It's almost like Mercury is kind of throwing this, I don't want to say confusion into the dance, the energy between Saturn and Jupiter, but it's almost like, I need you to make sure that your frame of reference is correct. I need you to make sure that the way you chose your position, where you, again, it's like coming back with all of your things and sitting down and reflecting with your loved ones and those who you care, whatever family looks like to you, right? And this is Christmas Eve, or if you say, of course, love and life, celebrate it. That is absolutely fine. This was the 24th. That this square that we're talking about will be activated for the second time. But it's really like sit down, take your shoes off, stay a while, really get reflective. Because please, like I keep hearing, he's like, what did we learn? Almost in the same way, what is it, Noah? What do you want? What do you want? But it's like Saturn saying, what did you learn? I hear it like this. It's such a point of maturation. Like, I am thankful. I will say this. I'm thankful Capricorn is like a cardinal sign. It is an initiator sign. It does help us take responsibility, but it kind of has this refreshing, like abundant energy of being like, hey, you know what? The light is returning. I feel a sense of renewal. Let's move forward. Yes, we can build something. I know we can. Let's just make sure that we do it right this time, And it's almost, I see it almost like you now, yourself 20 years ago. And again, if we talk about those Venusian cycles that I always talk about, you can say, okay, 20 years ago, 4 years, okay, 16 years ago. Wow, okay, Pluto and Capricorn. You see what I'm saying? Wow, okay, well then, okay, 14. Or no, I'm sorry, you would say, okay, 12 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, so now even we will consider once again, for the sake of it, that Pluto has now left Capricorn. So it even presses that energy down even more. Of do you want to create a legacy or not? It's that kind of energy. And listen, everybody's legacy looks different, right? But whatever it fucking is that matters, you have to be investing in that. We also have, as this square is activated between Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn and Pisces, right? Jupiter and Gemini. There's a lot of, I feel that I don't even know how to articulate, there's a lot of spiritual assistance in mental reprogramming. And you know what? I remember how my parents did this and this shit don't work for me no more. I remember how I thought I was going to get a degree in this, but that's not my path. I remember how I used to deal with stress. I remember how I used to think that all I wanted to manifest was money. I remember I thought I was always raised that I had to have a big house, or people don't live in tiny houses. We don't do RV. You get what I'm saying? It's a huge, it's a really big mental reprogramming going on. With that being said, if you can do things that help you not be too mentally overstimulated, if you have a great spiritual and meditative practice, that's wonderful right now. What was it? Oh, yeah, dang. I'm sorry. I totally went blank. I was thinking about the crown chakra, just the crown chakra, and definitely the heart chakra. I was journaling about those personally today as well. that we will need to circulate a lot of light there. For that, you can literally use the middle pillar. You can use visual techniques of a hermit, because that will be our number for next year. That'll be greatly effective. But the hermit, maybe it's Merlin. Maybe it's, there's so many different, or maybe you want a female version of an archetype, or maybe it's a dragon. Maybe it's a spirit animal who's bringing light and putting it like in a lamp. The lamp is in your heart. That's a very effective meditation to circulate the light. I don't know. I keep seeing a lot about the light and calling upon it. And I do feel that, and then this is just me channeling, I do feel that that has a lot to do with those seed points. Seed points is something that has come through in my own journal work like over and over and over again this year, because the total solar eclipse in Aries was huge. The year of the dragon was huge as far as seed points, as far as awakening dormant DNA. I think that is where the seeds, either they were already there and they were awakened, or they were planted. I'm not sure. And I feel that according to our light body DNA, that's going to be different for everyone. I don't want to get too far off into that to be to the point of being confusing. But yeah, it's super powerful energy this week. It's really about, I think that having an open mind is super important, and also understanding what is my perspective. What was I saying before? The frame of reference. Yeah, like a camera. I'm seeing like a shutter, like a lens. And you know how it's always refocusing because there's different stimuli in the background. So Spirit is showing me, you know, that refocusing has to do with the frame of reference is always, where's the light falling in the photo? Right? Well, we have digital imagery now, but you get what I'm saying? Way back when, you were stilling the light. And so your frame of reference would adjust itself according to the light. So I think we're really being encouraged right now. Again, goodness gracious. I mean, taking it once again, all the way back to 20 years ago. I don't know. I keep hearing, what were the side quests? Where'd you get sent on a side quest? It's very important that we learned. What did I learn? Your natal chart, your birth chart can be very, very effective way to consider that. And so if you need help in that area, always reach out. I have not rebooted up my website. I am going to try temporarily working with Etsy, but I don't have that up and going. To be honest with you, damn, I'm just trying to rest right now. But yeah, I feel like, but yeah, anyway, to wrap up that thought, what was there? There was a trine that I was looking at. Oh yeah, I was also noticing, you guys, there's so much Lilith. There's like a trine with Jupiter and Lilith. Here's our black moon Lilith over here, and it's in Libra. Yeah, South Node also in Libra. That's right. How did relationships that you've experienced since you had to project? I said project, love and light. Okay, no. But I feel it. I've been there. What I meant to say was, oftentimes we look at this black moon, this Lilith energy. Yet there's different types of Lilith energy in astrology. I'm referring to black moon Lilith, like the certain point behind the moon. Anyway, the moon is in conjunction as well with Lilith. Venus is trining Lilith. Jupiter is trining Lilith. It's like I can't keep entering into, no matter what the relationship dynamic is. Where's she at? Yeah, black moon Lilith. Jupiter. Yep. See Venus. And then see Jupiter. What else did we say? Venus. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, the moon. Yeah. The moon conjunct. Oh, yeah. She's right up in. Look, you see the moon there? All right, so we're healing subconscious wounds around, like, Black Moon Lilith can be, I never wanted to be this monster. I had to become the villain because, oh, if they want a villain, I'll give them a, it's giving very like, who is it, Moana, talking about, this is not who you are, you know what I'm talking about? Who you are. And she gives her heart back. It's very, that is the vibe. And it's like, we're not, Jupiter trine Lilith with Jupiter retrograding in Gemini. I've reprogrammed my mind enough that I don't even want to align on a vibrational frequency of relationships. I love to say emotional bonds, because that may be platonic. It may be romantic. Where's the trend? Is it with your toxic, abusive, whether it's emotionally, physically, and love and light? Please take good care of yourself. Find the resources that you need and ask for help, okay? Because I have been there. Shout out, gang, hashtag me too. Don't stay in places where you're abused, okay? But I'm saying we're looking at patterns where we have mentally reprogrammed, and that's not just psychologically, like through therapy. And I encourage that, absolutely. I've been there too. Woo, multiple years deep. I'm gonna tell you right now. And then in other cycles in my life, I was in therapy, but I'm saying, but also reprogramming your mind by circulating the light, by healing wounds that are in, that come from past lives, that come from, family, ancestral DNA, and karmic things, stuff like this as well. It's both. It's both that work together to do that reprogramming work. I also love that Venus is trining Lilith. And Venus is an Aquarius. It's like, if it isn't for my highest and best good and my healing, I'm trying to work on like light codes. Like, please don't even come and try to magnetize with me, or tempt me with any kind of pleasure. If it's not intelligent, I don't know. It's giving something like, don't waste my time. I have things to do that are like starseed level. I have things to do that are like, I'm getting a whole new degree. I've got a whole different tier of ascended frequencies of what makes me happy, what I am trying to attract in my life. And if you ain't matching it, don't don't waste my time. Okay. The moon in conjunction with Lilith. So I actually do like the Lilith energy, because it's like, you know what, when I morphed into the dark feminine, me and her, it's like we did time together. We had skin in the game together. We bled together. She taught me. Y'all don't ask me about me and her got stories. Me and Lilith, okay? We learned things in those dark nights, and the dark feminine is there and protects us. So I like that energy. I just want to speak on that because I saw that too. But yes, the Saturn and Jupiter energy is going to occur the evening of the 24th. So it is, the square. It is something to be mindful of. We could really gain expanded perspectives. And again, that word, that frame of reference comes to, now listen, it's a big energy. These are big hitters, the benefactor and the big daddy, the gatekeeper, the Lord of karma and time coming together in this way again. Okay, it's big energy. This may ripple out for months. You know what I'm saying? And this can be one of those things that occurs, and just because of the way the energy, and I don't want to say vitality is low, but it's just the time of the year and we're tired. We're being encouraged to go within. We also have Mars in retrograde. We're tired, okay? This is the thing where, multiple months down the road, you're like, whoa, it started there. It's going to be like that. I dare say even farther out, like a year from now. Look at us, how we were talking about 4 years ago still. There is so much I couldn't even unpack for you in one video, you guys, and we are going to shuffle some cards. I couldn't even unpack in one video. Like, I thought I was just driving out to be under the sky. Like, wow, the Grand Conjunction, If you would have told me, it's one of them. If you would have told me this is where you're going to end up being at the end of 2024, and it all starts here, I feel like I went into the college of really learning about how astrology and metaphysics and dark nights of the soul. And oh my gosh. I remember when I started my journey, which was another divisible of four. You already know. I got my first apprenticeship teacher in 2014 and then signed up for and then just took so many classes after that point the next couple years. But my apprenticeship teacher was a shamanic witchcraft teacher. I stayed with her for 3 years, and that just really, child, to say it changed my life is not sufficient. But even then, if you know what I'm saying, you'd ever do that. Wow, if you would have told me in 2014 that I would have, you never. Hey, did you know? Listen, we could make a list. But I will say this, and let's not forget, we do have Mars retrograde, so it's tense. It's just a time where a lot of times we decide maybe we don't need to engage, or maybe we just listen, or there's subtle things. Meditation, I think, is just huge when I look at the energetics. And you'd be like, well, you say meditate all the time, and do, and will continue to say. Okay, but listen, very big energy to be mindfully sitting with and having awareness of. If maybe a tarot spread could be appropriate, or some oracle cards tomorrow evening, or just in meditation, asking your higher self or your spirit guides, however it is that you work with your spiritual, for the highest and best good, always, and harming none. Those are the intentions we hold here. Okay, be mindful in that space. Spirit guides, ancestors, and team for the highest and best good. What is the message for me? And what have we learned? I'm hearing, maybe you could do one of those automatic writing things after meditation. If you've never done that, it's really fascinating. You kind of just ask, you literally audibly ask your higher self to speak, and then you kind of try to let yourself move out of the way. Or you may find sometimes when I've done that, I find that a guide or spirit, like an archetype of energy, will make itself very clear. I'm speaking to you through this frequency of so-and-so. And it would be a great, look at this, Ace of Cups. The universe, we're talking about Saturn and Pisces, Neptune energy, Piscean energy. I'm hearing we've been given many gifts of the spirit. But when we go through what we call karma, we can actually, Spirit is saying that the act of it, because it looks like the dove is dropping a coin into the cup. And it takes me back to the seed points, but it's almost like you had to go through the karmic activations. Crowley always referred to the justice card as an adjustment card. And we do have, we have Black Moon Lilith in Libra, which is the justice card, right? And then we had the conjunction with the moon, and we were just talking about the Black Moon Lilith energy, which you get at certain parts of the month. You get heightened Black Moon energy, but it's almost like, okay, hear me out. Now why am I seeing games? Shout out if somebody plays. I like to game occasionally. I just don't always have the time, but I'm seeing somebody chipping away at the stones, maybe Mario, again, Zelda, Mario, whoever. You're mining. But if you didn't mine, you wouldn't have got the little nugget or the gem or the crystal to put in your little pack. Now I'm seeing the Fool. Okay, we have to go through these karmic cycles. And I know that some would say Ace of Cups, I just feel it's like, wow, the hidden gems, the seed points, the light codes. They were given to you from the universe, and they were always going to fill your cup up. You just had to, you had to go through the side quests. I'm telling you, to how do we say, to feel, I don't even know how to articulate. You had to go through the side quests to get to a point where you would understand my cup is refilled, and this is what this cup really even means to me. I don't know, this type of energy, right? I'm trying to find a chart that tells me Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is in relation to, or am I thinking of Prince of Cups? Sorry. No, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. The Ace of Cups, the aces don't really have a super duper specific, or even as specific as a zodiac sign rulership. The Ace of Cups really kind of rule, I want to say, from October all the way to the winter solstice. So the Ace of Cups coming out here, it kind of rules like as a whole Libra, Scorpio, Sag season, right? Some people even associate Ace of Cups with the North Pole or the North Node, but it's like a replenishment in your cup so you can keep following the path of your destiny. I hear it like this. So you may have had some huge, I'm hearing coin in the cup moments, like enlightenment, like you busted the bricks down enough to say, oh shit. Spirit is saying it's twofold. Not only does busting the bricks down, think Mario, right? Think Zelda. Not only do you get to keep like that nugget, whether it's the ore, whether you're mining, whether it's the diamond, whatever it is, you get to put it in your sack like the Fool for your next adventure on the wheel, right? You also get to carry less heavy weight. Right? So let's imagine you had 4 karmic cycles, and if you could really bust them down, which is transmutation and alchemy, then wow, you could actually turn those all together into 2 very valuable, spiritually valuable wisdom, abundance, mental expansion, right? Spiritual powers even maybe. But they're valuable. But now you're not carrying 4 big ass fucking bricks. You only have 2 very small nuggets. But all of that was condensed and alchemized. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of alchemy may have occurred for you in Libra, Scorpio, Sag season. That's what I'm getting with the Ace of Cups. I'm seeing the ocean like so strong, which could kind of just be more like a metaphorical. It's like the abyss of, you know, things return to the void so that new things can be reborn. Your cup gets refilled. You know, a womb feels dark, but it actually holds all the potential. There's something about why Spirit keeps playing around at the edges with something like this refraction of light, because it kept coming through with a reframe. And now I'm seeing is like if the light was coming through, if we were looking at this and a cup was actually being held out in the sunlight like that, breaking through the clouds, it would throw rainbows. It could potentially, especially with the little yodes of the water, you know. Maybe working with water when you meditate, or Neptune Piscean energy is also like a lot of like dreams in the sleeping state. You could have spirit teams or guides that want to help replenish you while you're sleeping. What do we have? Wow, 10 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy right there. We were talking about building a legacy as well. Yes, we love to see it. Man, there's this whole story about like Osiris and the Holy Grail that we could really get into when it comes to the Ace of Cups, but there's a big call for us right now to open our hearts spiritually and to kind of, there's some, I'm hearing, you have to give, what? This is crazy. I was writing about this in a journal the other day. Spirit is bringing me back. We have to give sacrifices to manifest new things. It's always something has to be given up. Maybe it's time in this one spot, and or where we used to spend a lot of time doing X, Y, and Z. You know, you can't. Let's say, for example, you can't say, "Well, I don't have this muscle-bound body. I'm working for this aesthetic of physique, so I'm going to work out this many hours a week. But I also want to be really successful." I mean, you can't, like, you have to give some things up to. Okay, what is this giving, Spirit? Deciding where you focus what you are building and just getting really serious about it. I think it's interesting. He's pouring something in her cup in this picture, and we have the Ace of Cups. Spirit wants to make all your cups full. You know, whether that's love, whether that is materialistically, whether it's a family, maybe this is a business, maybe this is teaching and passing down spiritual gifts. You know what I mean? We could say that our legacy that we're creating to leave behind looks different from everyone, right? This is very like heart being fulfilled type of energy, and I love that. I love to see the 10 of Pentacles as well coming out for Capricorn season. But remember, just remember that you're really being urged. How are you going to build it differently? There's got to be a lot of cultivating patience, cultivating attention, We have to understand what kind of structure are we investing in with time, with money, spiritually. What was that? Well, Justice card just on the confirmation of that Libra energy. We can't got no time to spend no silly energy on some crazy. And it's also this energy of like, let's not block karma for other people. It's not our job. Remember how we was talking about busting down and alchemizing the little nuggets to get our little, from all of our side quests. It may have been multiple decades. As a matter of fact, I know it has been. I know it has been multiple decades of side quests, karmic cycles. We are coming into a certain time of being in Dharma. It's not applicable to everyone, though, because it's just like everyone who goes to college is not going to graduate because they didn't want to do the work. I'm just making a metaphorical reference, so please, I love you. Love and light. Don't be triggered. It's not really a time to like avoid patterns, especially when it comes to toxicity in relationships, and that can be platonic. It's anyone who has strong emotional bonds with you in your life. If it's toxic and has toxic tendencies that distract you from your soul purpose, get it the fuck. Like it can't stay. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be moving into the nodes of fate and destiny and everything. We're going to be shifting into like North Node Pisces energy, which is going to be huge for like spiritual dream revelation, amplification. It's going to be big. We cannot be affording to let ourselves continue to have tag along energy of people and relationships, platonic, soulmates, best friends, brother, sister, mother, father, these wounded dynamics. It's gonna hold us down. We're in a place where we're choosing. Are we expanding? Are we gonna contract? Okay, well, I did expand a little bit. I'm contracting, but I want to have an equilibrium and I want to keep moving towards my Dharma, towards my North Node. So let's think about, what is the long-term vision? What am I committing my energy to? How am I building it differently this time? Okay, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you and your energy and support. Definitely be on the lookout for that Jupiter square Saturn energy tomorrow evening. And I hope that your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your team lead and guide you for whatever it is you need to download and use for your own alchemy. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great night. Bye.